I've now played over 30 hours of Where Winds Meet and want to share a ton of tips and tricks I learned along the way. Thanks to Everstone Studio for sponsoring this video. Check out the game via the link in the video description. And the footage in this video is from the early access server, so some content may differ from the official release. You'll meet two very important NPCs early on. One is the Wayfarer, who gives you the map of the first region. After that, he asks you for 50 Echo Jade. I paid it in my first run, but if you haggle and haggle again, you get what he's offering for free, so definitely do that. And if you then visit other campfire icons on the map and find a Wayfarer, they will hand you the world map for free as well, so good to remember. Right after your first encounter with the Wayfarer, you'll have to deal with the bear nearby. Close to this spot, there's another NPC stuck in rocks. Help him, and for him you have to shoot down the beehive near the bear and then loot the item. Return to him and now you can choose one of 4 weapons for free. I talked about this in my how to get all the weapons video, but you basically want to choose either the Vernal Umbrella or the Thundercry Blade, because those unlock much later in the game otherwise, while the other 2 can be earned in the starting region. Totally check out that video after this one if you haven't already. It has way more info on all the weapons. I will leave a link to it in the video description. In this video, I want to focus on Xisheng and the Oddities, because I waited way too long to do these, but you should not do that. So while exploring, you will often see these black icons on the minimap, and those mean that an oddity is nearby. And these oddities come in many forms. Sometimes you have to break boxes or objects to loot the item, shoot more beehives in trees, follow and capture a purple insect, use the wind scent on these purple plants to reveal poison butterflies and shoot them, catch purple orbs from plants before they hit the ground, shoot birds so they drop the item that you want. And there are more variants with the tips menu providing like info on some of these as well. So make sure you return to Xisheng often to turn these items in to unlock strong passive bonuses, including more endurance, so stamina, and upgrades like the Wall Stride Shadow Dash that lets you sprint insanely fast, but only in regions where the lightness restrictions are lifted. So everything you do, chest, these oddities, events, they add points to your area exploration level, and each level grants rewards. At level 4, you get a key item that unlocks lightness in the region. In Cheng, it's the Afterglow Pendant, and in Kaifeng, the second region, it's the Flight Medallion. So after reaching level 4 in a region, you can use your lightness abilities found under Mythic Arts and Movement. You can use both the Wall Stride Shadow Dash, that lets you run way faster and jump way higher as well, it's kinda awesome, and also the over-the-top flying skills. Yes, they look wild and are genuinely useful for crossing long distances fast. Pro tip, the Boundary Stones, which also act as fast travel points, grant 50 exploration points, which a lot compared to other activities. They also give some solid XP for the fact that you just walk up to them and activate them, so it's totally worth knocking them out. And you can preview quest and encounter rewards in the quest menu before you finish them, so you can see if they're worth your time. For reference, the chest and oddities only grant 5 and 3 exploration points respectively, and one oddity I did not mention yet has you chase frogs and knock them down using the Cloud Step, which is a good reminder that Mythic Arts have a lot of hidden utilities as well. Want to go over those and share more tips? Of course, if you like the video so far, leave a like, that would really help me out, and subscribe for way more Where Winds Meet content like this. So Cloud Step is unlocked in the first town with the arena that you have to enter for the main story. Just complete the blue side story there. It also lets you instantly jump to some higher points, and it lets you knock mounted enemies off their horses, which is really nice. Mythic Arts icons will blink if they can counter the enemy you are fighting, but they must be in your active slots, so it's good to learn these counters by heart. Tai Chi that you learned from that first bear encounter also lets you grab an enemy's shield and throw it back at them, but it may take multiple attempts, and boss variants will require you to use the ability even more often. And not a direct counter, but you can of course also use this ability to toss enemies off cliffs, always fun. Some monks you encounter have a blue bar that will not go down. Here you have to use the Meridian Touch to break them, and you get this from a side story in an early game region, as you see here on the map. Sometimes you encounter NPCs in the open world that you can help by removing whatever is affecting them, which gives you some quick rewards. You can also immobilize targets during an animation to complete a small puzzle. You can also use Meridian Touch to immobilize enemies while you're not in combat. If you do this during the stealth encounters, you can still walk up to the enemy and take them out before they spot you, so that's very nice. And during these stealth encounters that you of course have to complete to earn new weapons, you want to use the Heavenly Snatch to pull chests from a distance, so you don't have to go to them, which is very nice. And you can also use this when you cannot enter a building but can already see the chest. Sometimes there are chests in the open world that are guarded by snakes that you want to avoid. Well, use the Heavenly Snatch to still get them. You get this mythic art by simply following the main story. You get it pretty early on. Now I want to focus on some things that make you stronger in combat. So one quick tip is that you want to wait when you stun an enemy, especially in 1v1 encounters. Damage them first, and then, just before the enemy gets back up, do the finisher to increase your damage output. But there are also many systems that impact your strength. I want to start with the general difficulty setting, because this does not impact the rewards you will receive. So if you are stuck on a boss, which can be a difficulty spike, switching to story is fine. Now you want to turn off the assist deflection though. It's enabled on the story difficulty by default. This gives you a pretty long window to parry incoming attacks, but it ruins the combat flow. You lose control over your combos, so I don't recommend it. Now there is a hidden setting that I do recommend. It's at the bottom of the game settings, namely the auto use divine craft tools. This auto applies without an animation the elemental effects, like the fire you can get from the braziers, boosting your damage in boss fights. Now I do think it's smart to turn it off after the boss, as you don't really need it in regular encounters, and they will burn through your charges. Now separate from the general difficulty settings are the solo mode levels that do make the game harder but also grant bigger rewards. So every time you reach the max level for your current solo mode level, you can do a breakthrough, and you totally want to do these when they are available, as they give nice one-time rewards but also increase your level cap and raise the maximum energy that you can spend on repeating bosses, outposts and other activities for their rewards. On a higher solo mode level, you also get better rewards. For example, it's noted that an outpost gives you 6000 XP, but it actually gives me 9000 now because I play on solo mode level 6 here. But a higher solo mode level also means that the enemies are more difficult. Now, two important things that you need to know about this system are: 1, don't do a breakthrough while in the middle of a mission, because it will directly impact the enemies in that mission. They will respawn and also increase in level, so it might suddenly become much more challenging, even on the story difficulty, to beat it, because you are suddenly underleveled. Another thing is that you can revert back to a lower solo level, but if you do this, you can't change it again for 24 hours, so keep that in mind. You can only increase the solo level if you reach a new breakthrough for the next solo level. If you stay at a solo level after having reached the cap, then all the XP you earn will not go to waste. Instead, it will be stored, so that when you do increase your solo level again, it will immediately fill the bar. In my case, it immediately got me to 51, while I was 50 when I started the breakthrough. A new solo level also gives you access to higher tier loot, and because things go pretty fast, you will never have to buy or really grind for loot early on. At one point, you will even have a full gear bag, so you cannot loot enemies, and then you have to recycle your lowest tier gear, as you won't be needing it. Only do this though when your bag is full, and only for like a few tiers below your current tier, because later on you can also tune gear to add an extra stat onto gear by using an item of the same tier. And when reaching solo level 6, you also unlock an arsenal feature that lets you bank older gear for extra bonuses, but it started for me at 41, so I think it's safe to recycle gear below that. There are more ways to enhance the power of your character that are totally worth investing in. One of them is Enhance, that requires common resources that you can quickly locate from the item description. They are totally worth buying. and upgrade this when possible for more base damage and defense. You also want to focus on the martial art upgrades. This increases the damage of the abilities of your weapons. It costs coins and specific drops from enemies listed in each item's description. Target those outposts or enemy camps for the materials. And at higher levels you will need breakthrough materials to upgrade your weapons, and you can buy these at the activity shop. Get the chest, select the item for the specific weapon you are pushing, and then you're good to go. I constantly had enough resource to keep my weapons at my current level. Now subscribe for way more Where Winds Meet tips and tricks. There are way more systems to cover, as you maybe already figured out. Let me know if you have questions or tips, drop them in the comments down below. Check another Where Winds Meet video by clicking on the screen, and I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.